Tua and the Elephant, written by R.P. Harris. Chapter 3. Tua Encounters an Elephant. "It's an elephant!" Tua cried out and rudely pointed to her finger. The moment she saw the elephant swing its trunk and flap its ears, her fears and doubts evaporated. All Thais loved the elephant, from the beloved king in his palace to the monk in his temple, from the baby in the crib to the granny in the hammock, from the tuk-tuk driver to the roti vendor, from the city dweller to the rice farmer. And Tua, being Thai from her toenails to the part in her shiny black hair, was no exception. Tua loved elephants. Of course, Tua has seen elephants before. Elephants make an appearance in Chiang Mai from time to time to entertain the tourists or participate in some ceremony or another. But there was something about this elephant that was different. For a start, it was young like Tua, but it was still plenty big even so. Some elephants are so big that one is reluctant to approach them. They are bigger than cars, bigger than trucks, bigger than buses. At least the wild ones are, or so Tua had been led to believe. Whoever had led Tua to believe this, she could not remember. So it is probably safe to say she led herself to believe that wild elephants were bigger than buses. But Tua was not the least bit afraid of this elephant. The first thought that entered her mind was, I must go and introduce myself. She had an overwhelming desire to tell it all about herself, certain that it would just be delighted to meet her. What stopped her were the two mahouts. A master mahout becomes one with his elephant. He is brother and sister, mother and father, and son and daughter to his elephant. He lives, eats, and sleeps with his elephant. He feeds it from his table and bathes with it in the river. The mahout become an elephant, and the elephant become a mahout. The two are inseparable. But just as there are all kinds of elephants, so too there are all kinds of mahouts. And these two mahouts were as scruffy as sewer rats, beady-eyed and sharp of tooth. Whiskers grew in sparse patches on their cheeks and chins like mildew. They were both shifty, but one was long and lean, and the other was squat and pudgy. There was something about the way the elephant turned its head from side to side and eyeballed the two mahouts that gave Tua pause. And when it caused her gaze, she very nearly tumbled over backward. It was as if it were speaking to her with its eye. She sat down on the steps of the fountain to give the situation a bit more study and thought. The short mahout was holding out plastic bags and sliced pineapple and watermelon to some phalangs who in turn gave the fruit to elephant. Nothing alarming about that, Tua thought. The phalangs gave the money to the elephant, and the elephant gave the money to the tall mahout, and short mahout gave the fruit to the phalangs, and the phalangs gave the fruit to the elephant. It is how the market economy works. But she recalled how Uncle Sip had told her that free trade was freer for some than it was for others. So Tua watched this business transaction more closely. And that was a good thing too, for the elephant then did something extraordinary, even for an elephant. After accepting a 50 baht note from a phalang, taking it with its trunk, and easily as someone with an opposable thumb and 4 fingers, the elephant stretched as far as it could reach and dropped the note in a lap of a woman who, motioning with hand to mouth in a pantomime of hunger, sat begging on the street with her baby. Both mahouts bristled like cats. "Oh, thank you, Chang, thank you." The woman bowed her head to the pavement. The Falangs grinned nervously, clutched their bags, and rear-backed to their heels. "Oh my," said the short one. "My goodness," said the tall one. "How sad," said the one in between. The mahout snorted and snickered, as if to reassure the Falangs that it was all part of the show. "Did you see that, Nak?" said the short one. "The elephant gave our money away." Nak, the tall one, glared at the poor woman and then smiled at the Falangs. "Don't give them any more fruit, Nang. We're closed for business." After the Falangs had gone, the two mahouts scolded the elephant and tugged its ears. Then they went over to the woman and, when they thought no one was looking, snatched all the notes and coins in her lap. "Have pity," she pleaded, shielding her baby. "Have mercy." Deaf to her cries, the mahouts walked away with her money, wrapped a heavy chain around the elephant's neck, and attempted to lead it off. But the elephant refused to budge. Instead, it turned toward Tua and once again held her gaze. "Did you see that?" it seemed to say. It wasn't until Tua nodded her head and mouthed the words, "Yes, Chang, I saw," that the elephant allowed itself to be taken away. Tua hopped off the top step of the fountain like a cricket, ran over to the poor woman and handed her the 20 baht note the Falang had given her, bowed respectfully, palms together in a Y, and scampered after the elephant.